Oscars 2026. Fake movies win again. The Oscars don't reward the best movies. They reward the best acting performances inside empty movies. And 2026 proved it again. I haven't watched the Oscars in maybe 10 years. I just looked to see who won and what won Best Actor and Best Picture, so that I know what actor and what picture to not watch. Are the Oscars to honor the movies, or are the movies made to honor the Oscars? So one of the big winners this year was the movie Sinners, which I watched for the first time a week ago. And I would say it was an okay movie. Just like From Dusk Till Dawn. It was a kind of fun vampire movie. It's quite amazing because for a year, people have been going on about how it's just like the best movie of all time. It feels like a Make-A-Wish Oscar because the movie wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. Neither was the acting. And the thing is, I like Ryan Coogler. I like Michael B. Jordan. And I think they kind of got ripped off. It's like giving a gold medal to the Olympic athlete before they've even done the race. And now they've got nothing to win if they actually do run a race. I'm not sure what made Sinners get so celebrated. Maybe it's just one of those odd things where the right people at the right time thought it was amazing, and then it spread, and then other people heard that it was amazing, and they thought, I guess I have to say it's amazing. So then everybody just started saying it was amazing. A friend of mine saw it, and she was telling me she really liked it, but I'm not sure if she was going on about how it was the greatest movie ever. It's The Emperor Has No Clothes, right? Everybody's afraid that if they say it wasn't that good, they're going to be called racist or they're going to be called uneducated. So everybody just goes along with it and says, oh yes, it's the greatest movie ever. And then there's the matter of the Oscars. Rather than saying this is the best film, they're saying this deserves recognition. I gotta say though that for all the pretentious movies that win Oscars, this is maybe the first movie I can think of where it wasn't profound. It was just kind of not dumb, but it was a fun horror movie, horror action movie that won the Oscar. When I say it's a dumb movie, I just mean it. There's not much to it. It's a silly vampire movie, and it's not even one of the very good silly vampire movies. And as far as diversity goes, I mean, is that the way we want to do things? Okay, so the mandatory black Oscar that we give out every other year goes to, and then every 4 years or 5 years, the mandatory Asian actor award. Nobody wants that. And that's probably, speaking of that, that's why they shouldn't have a Best Actress award. It should just be actor. And one more time, giving an Oscar to this movie for being black instead of it being good, it's as embarrassing as going up to a black guy who's dressed up in a business out, like in a tuxedo or something, and going, hey, look everybody, he's he's all dressed up, and he can be rich just like us, and blah blah blah. Okay, he's very intelligent, and he's powerful and everything. How embarrassing and ugly is that? And you tell me, if Sinners was directed by a white guy and it was starring white people, this would not in a billion years have won the Oscar, nor would it have gotten all this acclaim. It was this mass delusion in terms of the just general public giving it acclaim. But in terms of the Oscars, it was calculated. The other big winner was One Battle After Another, directed by Oscar darling Paul Thomas Anderson. Now, this is another guy who makes movies that for some reason they're acclaimed, and it's like a mystery. It's another Emperor Wears No Clothes thing. One of his first movies, Boogie Nights, that sucked. It sucked when I first saw it, I knew it sucked. Magnolia, that was the only one that I kind of liked. Punch Drunk Love sucked. What did he do? The Wrestler? No, that was someone else. Did he do The Fighter? Well, speaking of The Wrestler and The Fighter, those are two other Oscar-winning pieces of shit that nobody will ever watch again. Paul Thomas Anderson's pretentiousness is just so nakedly obvious. Eventually, like I watched There Will Be Blood, even though I knew it was gonna suck. I knew exactly what it was gonna be, and I watched it, and it was exactly what I thought it was gonna be. It was awful. Then I watched. My friend paid for me to go see The Master with Philip Seymour Hoffman, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's gonna be terrible. But she goes, just come. I'll pay for you. I want to do something. Let's hang out. Okay, fine. It was horrible. He's just awful. So of course, I didn't see what is this called? Another battle, one turd after another. That's what he should have called it. I didn't see it, like, because anybody in the right mind should not see it. You got to be fucking crazy to watch a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, and an idiot, and a pretentious piece of crap. Now, the question of why the common man would like a Paul Thomas Anderson movie is more. It's a more difficult question. It's basically because they're pretentious idiots. But the question of why the Oscars love giving their Oscars to this asshole is the same reason why the actors love acting in his movies, like Daniel Day Lewis and everybody, Philip Seymour Hoffman. They all want to be in a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, and that's because his movies are empty and they revolve around the actor. In the same way, a fashion model is just a coat hanger for the fashion designer. A Paul Thomas Anderson movie is just a coat hanger for the actor. Everything in his movies is there to support and display the actor. And this is the case with most Oscar movies. They're really just showcasing the actor. It's all just window dressing, and you're not watching a movie, you're watching an acting showcase. A similar phenomenon happens when musicians, they prefer to play the music by the composers that suck more, because then it gives them more room to interpret and to show off their abilities as musicians, right? It's a very old and annoying thing where the conductor or the musician gets featured over the composer of like classical music. So let's take a stroll down unhappy memory lane. Previous of Oscars past, there was one. The big one for me was the movie Crash, which was supposed to be a movie about racism, and it won all the Oscars. And I remember watching it, and I was like, "This movie isn't teaching you that racism is bad. It's just showing you that all these people are idiots. All these people are getting into these bad situations because they're all idiots," which was kind of funny. But that was a movie that won all the Oscars, and nobody will ever watch again. You've probably never heard of it. And then there's that asshole that did Silver Linings Playbook. I get them all. I'm not even going to bother differentiating the directors because these are all just the same crappy movie. Silver Linings Playbook, which was just an opportunity for Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper to show off their acting chops. The American Hustle, which was just a movie for Christian Bale and Jennifer Lawrence to play dress up. That was a real striking and obvious example of all the actors just playing dress up. And oh look, I can do this accent. Oh look, I can wear this. Oh look, I'm Christian Bale and I'm wearing like a bald cap, so I look like I'm bald. And that's it. Yeah, you tell me what the story was in American Hustle. Yeah, okay, they're con artists or something. And then there's asshole who did The Whale and Black Swan. Then I think he also did The Wrestler. One of them did. Oh wow! So The Whale won. I think Natalie Portman probably won an Oscar for that. Oh, sorry, did I say The Whale? Black Swan. The Whale. Brendan Fraser wins the Oscar. The Wrestler. Mickey Rourke wins the Oscar. The Fighter by someone else, I think. What's his name? Christian Bale wins the Oscar. All forgettable piece of shit movies nobody will ever watch again. And some of these directors I thought had hope at first, like dude who did The Whale. I thought he had a lot of promise when he made a movie called The Fountain, starring Hugh Jackman. But he just went right down the toilet. Oh, and then there's Precious. That's another funny one. Okay, Precious was about a morbidly obese black girl who gets pregnant by her father. And I remember I was somewhere public and the movie was on, and I'm like, no, trust me, you don't want to watch this. It was just a thoroughly depressing movie, and the actress wins an Oscar. It's a movie nobody will ever watch in a million years. And then just or like Monster starring Charlize Theron, which is a terrible, depressing, awful movie. But Charlize Theron got to show off her. She got to play dress up and show off her acting. She got to. Oh my God, Charlize, beautiful blonde. Charlize Theron is purposely making herself look ugly for a movie. Let's give her an Oscar. And just so you know how forgettable and awful these movies are, I'll give you the last line in the movie Monster, which I watched even though I knew what to expect. I don't know why I watched it. I was young and bored, and I had more patience, I guess, or resilience. But the last line of that movie, she goes, "People tell their kids, not to give up, and that life is worth living and life is worth fighting for. Well, I guess they got to tell their kids something." Yeah, that's how that movie ends. So there's the message. Yeah, Precious and Monster, two movies where the main point is that life just sucks. Like, I don't know anything about One Battle After Another. It's going to be just some stupid movie with no point because it's like you can't even describe it. Even if I did see it, I wouldn't be able to describe it. And then Sinners, okay, yeah, it's a vampire movie and there's blues. There's like a theme of blues music, and it's like historical. It takes place in the early 1800s. That's really all I can say about it. There's no, I don't know what the hell the story is other than that. And basically, you could say that for every Oscar movie. Oh yeah, what was that one? American Hustle. There's casinos, and it's like in the 70s, and they're con artists, and they dress up in these outfits, and there's like Mark Ruffalo plays a politician, but you can't really get into anything about the story. Yeah, so the rule is if a movie is an Oscar darling or wins, it means it sucks. It's not a real movie. It's engineered. It's built for awards. It's built for the actor. It's not built for the audience. It's not built for rewatching. And the Oscars, like film festivals, they don't operate on let's find the best film. What can we do to make this film big, to honor this film? It's more about how can this film make us look good? Maybe I should start my own award ceremony. And then just by virtue of getting the actor to accept the award, I'll rise in prestige and I can make myself famous. Real movies don't beg for awards. They don't scream, "Look how important I am." They just work. They have structure, they have ideas, they have something to say, and you remember them and you rewatch them. Not just the stupid actor, the flavor of the month actor. You can actually remember the story. If you think I'm wrong, then tell me an Oscar-winning movie that you've rewatched. And check out my video about reviewing where I review the movie Sinners, although I can't even remember reviewing it. That's how forgettable the movie was.